Welcome back inside the awesome M-Wave Arena, site of 1998 Olympic speed skating competition here in Nagano, Japan, as we get set for the women's side of the World Speed Skating Championships. Our first pair over 500 meters, Becky Sundström of Chicago, Illinois, and Christina Schön of Sweden.
Last year at this event, Becky was the 500-meter gold medalist.
Looking for that 100-meter split, 11:21 for Sundström.
Ooh, good start.
Youngest of 3 speed skating sisters. Her 2 sisters also performed for the U.S. team in international competition.
And she just went over the top. Outstanding start.
Beating her opponent to the crossover, and Sundström with a huge lead as she powers off the turn.
Woo!
To the line she comes. 40.89 seconds for Becky Sundström, who takes the provisional lead over 500 meters.
That was strong. Good technique.
Now to our next pair, Cindy Overland of Canada and Annemarie Thomas of the Netherlands.
Annemarie Thomas widening the gap here in the first 100 meters.
Oh, 10.80 for the first 100.
That is outstanding to be under 11 seconds.
A phenomenal start for Annemarie Thomas, a spectacular sprinter. She leaves Cindy Overland in her dust as she flies off the corner. Watch this time.
What a strong Dutch team. It just continues. She is tough.
40.53, taking the provisional lead away from Becky Sundström. Annemarie Thomas, 40.53. A spectacular skate. Now, here is the matchup. The reigning European all-around champion from the Netherlands, Tony de Jong, going up against the woman she beat for that title, 7-time European titleist and 5-time defending champion in this event, Gunda Niemann of Germany.
You're right, Bob. What an upset at the European Championships. But de Jong is coming on strong. She's a new face. Gunda Niemann has the experience, but de Jong has overtaken her in the last few months. Will she do it here?
Niemann with revenge on her mind. She'll have the outer turn as they head for home. Niemann using that new clap skate technology. She wasn't using them at the European Championships, and de Jong beat her at the line. Niemann beats her rival 40.79 to 41.09.
Gunda Niemann with revenge.
Final results of the 500 meters. Annemarie Thomas of the Netherlands beats Gunda Niemann, and Becky Sundström of Chicago, Illinois, and Maura D'Andrea of Saratoga Springs, New York, finished 3rd and 4th. A good start to their World Championships. We'll be back with the 1,500 meters. Welcome back inside the M-Wave Arena in Nagano, Japan, where the 1997 World Speed Skating Championships continue. The women are on the ice at 1,500 meters. Now, in earlier pairs, Cindy Overland of Canada took on Annemarie Thomas, who dominated the women's 500 meters, and she dominated Overland in the 1,500 as well, taking the provisional lead at 2:02.79. The next pair, Annie Freisinger of Germany against Chiaro Nozaki of Japan. Once again, the European skater easily winning the race and moving into the provisional lead at 2 minutes, 2 seconds flat. And now the matchup everyone's been waiting for. World All-Around Junior Champion Kirsten Holm of the United States against 5-time World All-Around Champion Gunda Niemann of Germany.
And this is going to be great for Kirsten because she's up against one of the best. This is going to help in her experience and her quest to be the best in the world.
There you see the world record set back in 1986, but keep in mind that this is a battle against the clock as well as against your opponent. So Kirsten Holm, in her first World All-Around Senior Championship, is going to try to maintain her composure even though she's racing the best in the world. We move forward to the final lap. Gunda Niemann well in control. See if she can take over the provisional lead, because that's what she needs to move closer to defending her title. And as the distances increase under the Samalong scoring system, it gets harder and harder to close on the athlete ahead of you in the points. To the line she comes.
It'll be Neiman.
And a terrific time, 2 minutes, 51 one-hundredths of a second. Kirsten Holm follows at 2:05.11.
What a great showing for Kirsten Holm in her first World Championships, though.
Gunda Neiman, 1.2 seconds off the world record, but more importantly, she wins, and substantially so over the rest of the field. Kirsten Holm of the United States finished 10th. Neiman into the lead after 2 events. We'll be back with more from Nagano, Japan. Stay with us. Welcome back to Nagano, Japan, where we have a tremendous battle shaping up for the Women's All-Around Speedskating Championship as we move to 3,000 meters. This is Claudia Pechstein of Germany against Toni de Jong of the Netherlands.
Claudia Pechstein, the 94 Olympic gold medalist in the 5,000 meters. So with the 3,000, she should do fairly well.
You see, Gunda Neiman holds the world record. We'll be seeing her shortly.
Claudia settling down nicely in the beginning of this race. Very nice form.
Picking up the action now on the final lap. Pechstein in the lead. Toni de Jong nowhere to be seen. De Jong swept all 4 women's gold medals en route to the European All-Around Championship. She is struggling just a bit here at the world title chase. This race could be pretty much terminal for de Jong's hopes of winning the world title, because at 5,000 meters, it is much tougher to make up ground in the points.
Pechstein easily winning this race.
Into the provisional lead, Claudia Pechstein at 4:13.95. Toni de Jong closed well, but probably not well enough. Now the new star of the Dutch team, Annemarie Thomas, who leads her teammate, the European champion, in the standings at the moment, battling the overall world titleist for the last 5 years, Gunda Neiman. On the basis of the evidence thus far, Neiman's switch to that clap skate technology is working very well.
And after the European Championships, she wants to do a lot better. Disappointment for her, but she has been skating well here at the World Championships.
Now at the European event, as we pick up the action on the final lap, we talked about how difficult it is to make the transition from the technique of the solid or traditional skate blade to the new clap skate technology. Neiman in a very short time appears to have mastered it.
Actually, once you get used to it, you find that you are stronger, you have more power, and you get more speed, better times. But it is a strange transition.
Well, if there's one skater who has power to spare, it is Gunda Neiman, seeking her 6th straight World All-Around Championship. She comes to the line, into the lead at 4 minutes, 10.40 seconds, firming up her grip on the overall lead as Annemarie Thomas comes through more than 8 seconds in arrears. Women's 3,000 final results. Neiman over Pechstein, the Germans very strong here in Nagano. Standings after 3 events, Neiman and Pechstein with Annemarie Thomas 3rd and European champion Toni de Jong in 4th. Now to the women's 5,000 meters. Svetlana Bajanova of Russia against Annie Friesinger of Germany. You'll notice a piece of string around the German skater's waist. That's a bit of a skater aid. She can tuck her thumb into it when she puts her hand behind her back and rest those arms.
You may have noticed that at the beginning of the race, both skaters were almost standing up straight. That's because this is a distance race, unlike the sprint where you're down low, ready to hit that maximum sprint position.
Friesinger on her final lap. Oh, and a problem for the German skater. I'm not sure what happened there.
Fatigue.
And she goes down.
But she finished. That's what's so important. She could have fallen before the finish line and not even finished the race. Your legs are so burnt at that point. Just keeping your balance is a task. And once you're out of balance, it's strange.
You know, Peter, it's almost like she couldn't get her hand out of that piece of string and nearly threw herself off her skates.
Well, Bob, it could have been that. However, again, it's just all about staying on your skates at that point, because you're basically like a teetering building at that point. You can barely get yourself back. She did, though. She finished, and that's what she needed to do.
In fact, she moves into the provisional lead. I think you're right, Peter. I think it was just fatigue. She simply couldn't get out of the skating position for the finish. And now Tony de Jong of the Netherlands against Annemarie Thomas. Turn markers fly as the two Dutch women head out.
Tony de Jong, newfound confidence after beating Gunda Niemann at the European Championships.
She will have to beat Thomas fairly substantially to edge past her in the points as we move ahead in the race. De Jong now firmly in control.
And I'm really impressed with her form. It's so streamlined, and it really helps her, especially here at the end of the race when you need it.
Tony de Jong into the provisional lead over 5,000 meters, beating her countrywoman Thomas easily. And now to crown our champion. Gunda Niemann well out in front of the competition at this point. Second in points is her countrywoman Claudia Pechstein. They will battle for the world title.
Gunda Niemann is the defending world champion.
Her lead is so substantial at this point that Pechstein will need to beat her by 17.82 seconds in order for the Samolog system to move her into the lead.
And the likelihood of that happening is next to impossible. However, you can't say that in this sport. A fall could change all of that.
Well, exactly. We just saw the level of effort required to do well over 5,000 meters when Friesinger went down.
But not the case here. Gunda Niemann retains her title.
And she does it with style.
You know, it was really tough for her to come off of the European Championships. Being dethroned there, she had to come back and prove to the world that she could be the best once again, and she has.
And adjusting to those new clap skates. Final results of the women's 5,000 meters. Gunda Niemann of Germany puts an exclamation point on her 6th consecutive World All-Around Championship. She sets a new world record under the Samolog point system for lowest points total ever. Congratulations to Gunda Niemann and to Ids Postma, World All-Around Speed Skating Champions for 1997. We'll be back in a moment for the final event in the triumvirate of speed skating world titles, the single distance championships from Poland. Stay with us.